Oye, Gaingsbill. Get up, baby. You know what time it is. From the 305 to the 352, it's El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Puro tolete, dale. What is up, Gaingsbill? Here's Andy from Los Cuban Dudes with my boy Abel, the new Cuban dude.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
How's
it going, Andy? How you
What's
doing,
up,
brother?
Abel, brother? How you doing, man?
Not bad, my brother. It's been a long day, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. And we apologize for anybody who jumped on in the beginning. We were having a little bit technical difficulties, which is one of those things I guess happens on the first show.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things. Más de ojo, la cosa mala, echa para allá.
Sí, sí.
Echa para allá.
Echa
pa'
pa'
allá. Bro, thanks so much once again, Abel, for joining me on this little journey here. We've taken our name, our Cuban Dudes name, and converted it from a food truck to a show.
All right.
Because in reality, being a Cuban dude or Cuban Dudes is just an attitude. Before we were just slinging sandwiches, now we're just being ourselves.
Oh,
right?
man, I loved you guys, man. You and David, you guys were fantastic, man. If there was, your food was good, but your attitude and all you guys, the stuff you guys would post,
Yeah,
made me a fan.
it's always a good time, man. It's always a good time.
Thank you for having me.
Gainesville, thanks for joining us on this journey as well. All of Florida, we appreciate you guys for following us and for just being here for support for everything that we do. We always appreciate it. Let's just jump right into it.
Yep.
In today's show, we're going to be talking a little bit about ourselves right quick. We're going to be talking about what happened to the Cuban Dudes food truck. A lot of people have asked questions about that in the past, and I feel like maybe that's an appropriate show to answer that question today.
Absolutely, I do agree.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about the nature of business in Gainesville, the food business in Gainesville, business in general, which there's a lot. That's actually a loaded topic on its own, but we'll cover that quickly here on within a reasonable time in the show. So getting right into it, what is El Cuban Dudes Show? A Cuban Dudes Show is it's a show that's going to be a half hour to hour format. I mean, depends on where we land on our topics, right, in our discussions.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about everything that has to do with Gainesville, but primarily from a Hispanic point of view, right?
No me diga.
Yeah. Revolutionary.
Wow.
Cuban Dudes. Who would have thunk it? So we're going to be having conversations from a Hispanic point of view about things that we witnessed in Gainesville, northern Florida. We just kind of experience things differently, right? Especially
Absolutely.
being outside of Miami. You know what I mean?
Right, it is a big difference. I think Florida could almost be split in two. They're two different worlds from
Correct.
the south to the north.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So there's that. And then we'll be talking to local entrepreneurs, students that are doing things, impactful things around all of the area of Gainesville, Archer, whatever, Levy County, or Alachua, don't matter. And then we'll also just be talking about different topics, news topics, things to discuss, things that are hot. And all with that Miami flavor, which is kind of just embedded in us. This is kind of how we are. And also just from that point of view of how we see things, right?
I'm excited, and so is everybody else.
Yeah. Ooh, look at the claps. We got the claps.
These
people, you're so advanced. You're like high tech. So really quickly about myself, my name is Andy Pineda. I was the owner of the Cuban Dudes food truck, as you guys know. And now going down this venture. Abel, tell the people a little bit about yourself right quickly, your quick background.
Bueno, my brother, I moved here in 2006. I was a real estate appraiser down south. I did some of that up here. 17 years ago, man, there was barely any Latin people here in Gainesville. It was a really different city. Pero nada, we worked through it, and hopefully sometime we can get deeper into all the fun stories. But I'm also a realtor. I'm a local actor. I will be sharing with you guys plenty of the work I've been doing lately, the ones that are out and ones that will be probably coming out in Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. That's some big time stuff, bro.
Bro,
I can't even believe I'm just with you in the same room.
No, prepárate.
Oye.
Prepárate, que ahorita está paparazzi aquí.
All right. I will not quit the Cuban Dudes or a Cuban Dudes show or anything like this until I have an IMDb profile, just like you.
Or cheesy. I
Yeah,
can help you
that's
with
my
that.
goal. IMDb profile or broke.
Yeah, vamos right,
Right.
right.
Or IMDb profile, or I go live under a bridge.
Beautiful. I like that.
That's my mentality. Don't
Do it.
quit. All right, so let's jump right into it.
All
Right.
right, let's do it.
Cuban Dudes food truck.
So what happened with the Cuban? I mean, everybody's been calling me. Hey, oh yeah, I know you guys did the interview. ¿Qué pasó con la gente de 305? You know, let people know what's really happening here.
Yeah. So the Cuban Dudes food truck is something that we started here 2 years ago.
Okay.
When we moved up from Miami. Our vision was let's bring authentic Cuban food to Gainesville. Simple, right?
Right.
Because there's places here that people don't really respect, right? So they're like, oh, that ain't Cuban food, or this place, sucks, or whatever,
Right.
And I remember I told my wife, I said, "Coño, babe, let's create, just something simple. Let's start with a food truck that is, Cuban food. Simple, man. Nothing revolutionary. It's just what we do. It's our food. You know what I mean? Like, let's just do that.
Not reinventing the wheel.
Not reinventing the wheel.
Gotcha.
And so we went ahead and we did that, and it took off, and we started under the tent, and everybody knows the story, right? I don't want to run through the whole thing because people really know, at least locally here in Gainesville, how that went. We started under a tent, and then we went through the struggles of all of that, and then we got the truck, and then from the truck we went to a Cuban Corner. We partnered up with Lewis out there, and we did that project, and then everything just kind of slowly snowballed up the hill and then right down the hill, right? And so why there is no more Cuban Dudes food truck is really simple. It's really simple. It's Gainesville's a tough place to sell food.
She's a tough crowd, bro.
Gainesville's a tough place to sell food in. I mean, it's very transient. The students are in and out, right?
Correct.
So there's that. But anyways, we went ahead and we stopped because we just didn't see like there was any, just any future in it anymore. You know what I mean? It was something that, fell apart over time. The Cuban Corner fell apart. There was political things that happened with the Cuban Corner.
So it wasn't that you guys fell out of love with the business. It was just other powers that were involved that you guys had no control over.
We didn't have any control over a lot of different things.
Fair enough.
And then Gainesville itself didn't really help, even though we had very loyal, customers. Everybody knows. If they follow us on social media, people are very loyal, very loving. Can't complain about the crowd in Gainesville. You know what I mean?
Right.
So things just fell apart with our food truck because just of the nature of the business, which I would definitely love to take the time today and discuss a little bit about how we just see Gainesville in that sense.
What's the future of food? I'm guessing
the future of food.
The future.
How we see business in Gainesville.
Well, no,
right?
Whenever you want to jump in, we can do this. There's a lot of them that I've seen articles that people they're closing their doors. What's happening? Are people not going out to eat? Is that just one more restaurant?
Are there any examples? Are there any places that you could think of?
Well, my friend, I have a list here. We had the Grog House. It was really happening for the last 27 years. They finally closed down. That was right in front of the university. A lot of parties, a lot of kids that have graduated here have definitely gone there.
That was a trendy kid place, right?
That's the whole thing. The Gainesville in itself is pretty trendy. So anytime there's something new, they go there and they hit it for that year. That's 3 months. You
know what it is? You know what it is, Abel? Is that I'm located in Archer, right? So when I think of Gainesville, I include Archer in that sense. So when I say that's a trendy kid place,
okay,
I forget that when I really what really is Gainesville, to your point, is a trendy, kid area primarily because of the students, right?
Absolutely.
So what other places have gone down?
And so they have something that was called Sweet Dreams. Yo no como helado porque the story with me and the ice cream. I'm not really good friends. Yep. And then, but those guys were open 20 years. They used to have, do things with the kids. I remember the fire truck they had con la vaquita. And it was a shame. It was almost a staple. It's 20 years, dude. Uno que de verdad me gustó bastante era el Formaggio Bistro, el que está al lado del next to Citron.
Is that in downtown?
No, that's in the Thornbrook area, in that mall.
Okay.
Man, this was like a little Italian joint next to that big monster of a restaurant, and it had like 10, 12 little tables. But bro, lo que tiraban from that kitchen back there, dude, was supreme, dude. Los calamares, the antipasti, bro, all of that, dude. Los vinitos were nice. The owners were super cool. It's a shame that one hurt for me. That was like date night for myself and my wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I mean, I've only been here for now, well, only going on 3 years now. I've been using that excuse since I've arrived. I've only been here. Pretty soon I'm gonna be like, I've only been here for 15
Yeah,
years. I
you're
don't
like
know.
me.
I don't know much of anything.
I don't want to be called an ACR yet.
Yeah.
Yet
So
we are.
to me, bro, it's up and down Archer Road. If it ain't Linda Vista, shout to Linda Vista on Archer Road, the Mexican place. Love Linda Vista. Um, Mexican alert.
Mexican alert! Tacos in the corner.
So if it ain't up and down Archer Road, primarily, maybe some spots.
It just might get missed.
It might get missed. People are like, "Oh, do you know that place on 35th and Northwest?" I'm like, "The fuck? I don't
Is that
know.
on Archer?
Is it on Archer?" They're like, "No, it's off of Archer. 15 miles." I'm like, "Nah, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about."
Excuse me.
Yeah. There is also the only place I really know that
Mhm.
closed down recently because we were right across the street from them. Is Halo Donuts.
Coño, those guys were good.
Yeah, you had Halo Donuts.
Yeah, those were the ones that were with that had the potato.
The potato.
Yeah, dude,
Halo potato
that's the
donuts.
only one I could eat, and now they're gone.
Oh yeah,
What a shame.
Halo Donuts.
Yeah, había unos donuts ahí que parecían una llanta. They look like a spare tire. How big those things were, dude.
Yeah,
That was like no bullshit, but they were fantastic, dude.
yeah. Halo Donuts to me was a hit or miss relatively, but we more hit than miss, I guess. At first it was an odd thing for me because I was like, this is a donut made out of a potato.
Right.
Like, this is weird. It like blew my mind.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And I was like, there's gonna be una cosa seca, mierda aquí.
Una caca malaca.
Una
Una caca malaca. You're like, nah.
Yeah. But it was actually pretty damn good,
No,
man.
it wasn't
It was
bad.
impressive.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it got me going to the kitchen, being like, "Babe, what can we make donuts out of? Espinaca, fucking broccoli,
No, for
whatever."
real. Well, they do empanadas now with all that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Se venden bastante here. I didn't know how many vegans we had here in town.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
I didn't
We
even
lived
know.
that. We lived that with the food truck. It was always like, you
Really?
guys have vegan options. I'm like, you could have
Rice and beans.
you could have Coke. You know what I
And
mean?
then there's
I was
that.
like, yeah, man. Yeah, it is one of those things where, like, so many different places have closed. I'm sure that's an ongoing thing. One thing that I noticed about the places that closed is that there's places that have been here for like 20, 27 plus years
Right.
that just up and closed last year. And I think you mentioned the Grog House. I think was here for 27 years.
Dude, that used to
Something
be a
north of that?
spot. I mean, I never went there because I was too old when I got here. But every time I would pass by, either any time of the week, either a Wednesday or Thursday, Fridays, that second floor was packed, dude.
Yeah.
Pero tremenda party that they had there.
Fiestone.
Fiestón.
And Sweet Dreams, the one that you mentioned,
Sí, que eso es-
Galera, was open for over 20 years.
Yeah, that was another one.
That's nothing to sneeze at when it comes to like a time period. You know what I mean, for a location.
If you've done restaurant and you know
we did it for 2 years,
right,
and it was brutal.
right. 20 years, imagínate 20 años de eso todos los días.
20 años de esa mierda
Todos los días, brother.
Yeah, bro, giving up your entire life to that and just up and closing, boom, just like that.
That's it.
So,
Unlike the other restaurants that have been here a long time that are Latin-ish, those guys they've done well.
yeah.
Why? What is it that they're doing that is different than anybody else? That you see, there's some that die right off the bat, and then there's some that just they multiply.
I wonder what people think. If you guys have any restaurants in the area, in the Gainesville or outskirts, that you guys think are some of the best, places to go, maybe those little hole in the wall places that you may be concerned will close soon. Yeah, because sometimes you feel that vibe, right? You go to a place and you're like,
This thing's not gonna make
this
it.
ain't looking so good.
Yeah. But you know who has that and has still been there for a long time? There's a Jamaican Caribbean spice. Tú entras ahí y dices, oh, esta gente ahorita están quebrando. Bro, lo que pasa es que they sell so much, bro. Eso es dale. Like, I don't know if
They don't have time to fix the restaurant.
they don't have time for the restaurant, dude. No, I'm telling you. Oye, los baldes de rabo encendido of goat's tail, not goat's tail, oxtail,
Mhm.
bro, they're phenomenal, dude. Whenever
Yeah.
you have a chance, pass by there, dude. Que te vas a dar tremendo banquete. It's
I'm
gonna
not
be
big. I'm
fantastic.
not big into, like, what you said, that was Jamaican, right?
It was Jamaican. It's got a little spice, but not like rip your ass.
Talk about eating cagalera.
Right, none of that shit.
I am not a big Jamaican food guy. I know jerk chicken. That's all I ever know when it comes to Jamaican food.
That's
That's like a thing. jerk chicken.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like arroz con frijoles.
Yeah, that's like almost eating a hot dog and shit.
Right,
It's like so
right.
typical.
Yeah. Um oh, well, it's just one of those things, man.
So
I
you
guess I
know
guess
what
that's the nature of business in
it
Gainesville.
is. It is. The other, but I mean, some people have very good marketing skills. Like, let's say, for example, La Fiesta.
La fiesta.
Yeah, remember the dude that he's got a they have a
Oh, the
restaurant,
Mexican
the
place.
Mexican place.
Mhm.
Dude, these guys have been open. What did they say? God only knows how long.
Right.
But they also were one of the many that said, "Hey, we're gonna close. Nobody's going, or it's been rough. It's been tough." They did an article that they were gonna close the last weekend. And dude, when that came out, everybody was like, "Oh, I remember my first date with my wife, or when we graduated." Entonces suddenly that weekend, everybody hit the restaurant. Lo and behold,
Excellent marketing.
dude, lo and behold, a week later, they're like, "Guess what? We're not closing our doors."
Oh my god.
So was that true or was that a marketing thing?
Uh, that's a great question, bro. That's like one of those. That's a hot take. That's an Abel hot take,
All
everyone.
right.
Abel's hot takes. Um, yeah, that's a good question, man. That's one of those things that's got me thinking now. If that, you know, when we were coming back with the Cuban Dudes truck, or at least we thought of coming back,
Right.
we didn't do it for for any like marketing thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's no benefit to us to say we're coming back. We're trying to find a spot. You know what I mean? And then launch a Cuban Dudes show. Like there's
Right.
there's no transition there.
No, and you guys tried. I know you tried everything.
We did, we
I know
did, we
you
did
did.
try, and it was at the end of the day. I know I glanced over it very quickly because I don't want to drag on the whole show, which is like why we closed. But one of the things that really was affecting us was the kids, the family. Those are a lot of things that um, went ahead and affected us. You know what I mean? And so anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my
That's all
train
right.
of
That's
thought there.
production. Production is there bothering us trying to feed us
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So
Más café, por favor. Gracias.
yes, please. So anyways, yeah, man. There's just a lot to it, and so for us to say, for example, we're going to go ahead and come back, and then not come back, because we're going ahead and trying to leverage sales somehow.
Right.
Is something that's odd, but at the same time, it is smart. But you're kind of riding the coattails of people that are really closing, and I think that's messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So there's one big thing here, and I will say, and those that live here, we know that not only is Gainesville very trendy, but it's seasonal. Why do I say seasonal? Even though we have sun almost all year long, it's because most of the businesses are ran with the same schedule of the students. So once the students are gone, everybody's all sales are low. So you got to learn how to budget within
Oh
those
yeah,
two and a half months.
we felt that. We felt that.
And if you're not ready for that, forget about it. Tiene que estar preparado, brother.
We felt that. I mean, when we were at the Cuban corner,
Right?
we started January of 2022,
Okay.
and it was like,
Coño, right after the pandemic.
yeah, we were pretty much riding that whole wave. Excuse me, no, my fault. Let's go back, Abel. January of 2023. So we started January. I forgot we were in 2024, man.
Oh, we're up there, man.
Yeah. So January of 2023, we went ahead and started at the Cuban corner. And then by the way, I want to take a moment to thank everybody who's congratulating us. Amy, Monique, Sarah, thank you so much. We
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
We appreciate you guys.
the kind words. So we went ahead and started at the Cuban corner in January, and we started to take off. It was like a slow ramp up,
Mm-hmm.
to the point that I think one of our best months we sold like $15,000-$20,000. I mean, we're a food truck.
Really, bro?
We're a food truck that is stuck. I'm sorry. My boy that I grew up with, my Lebanese Cuban friend.
All right,
The
let's
guy's
hear
more
it.
Cuban than I am, I think. George Francis.
Welcome to the show, George.
Comes in with the "I hate you." Love you too, bro. Anyways, so
No, cuando me dijiste libanés,
yeah. The guy is no, he's a super cool dude.
cool dude.
Super cool dude. So so yeah, he's calling it the Moroccan Dudes podcast.
Nice.
So when we started the Cuban corner, we started to take off. And then we did 15, 20 grand. And then when the summer came in, man, it just dumped. I mean, dumped. Like we were lucky to break 1,500 one month. I mean, it was
Well, no,
brutal,
that's brutal.
brutal.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at businesses that are actually spending three, four, five, $6,000 a month in that area of Gainesville, because we do know some places that spend about $6,000 a month
Just in rent.
on Main Street in Gainesville, just on rent. I mean,
Wow.
that doesn't include all the other overhead, staff, everything else.
Right.
And they're like barely making it. And then they close. And then everybody's like, oh my God,
Why did they?
why did they close?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, the summer killed them.
Support local business, folks.
Support local business.
It's very important.
The the winter season killed them. You know what I mean? Because students also leave for winter. I mean, you also forget that.
Right. That's about 2 weeks, give or take.
People rave about the fall, and of course, yes, the fall and the football season is great.
Right, but those are 8 weeks, dude.
But dude, if that, right? Because the
Right.
fall is like late September or mid to late September, October, and then like by like about mid-November, I almost feel like everything just really starts to slow down. It's not even like by December 25th.
No, it's right before Thanksgiving.
We were selling with our food truck. We were selling at Muscle of Dogs by the dog park, December, right? 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have cars just blow by us like all the time. And we were like right there, right by the side of the road. And we were like, hello,
Yeah.
like, like where in the summer prior, we were killing it,
Right.
which is odd, really, because now we're talking about how things are out here. But so that's like a weird behavior, which I think lends itself to, Abel,
Okay.
the difference between Main Street student population and being more rural
Right.
or more suburban when it comes to Archer, Deep.
Right, because you guys, there's nothing out here like that. What you guys had, you probably would have been better off just with the tent out here.
Yeah,
Because
we were
with the-
killing it out here.
Because right now there's nothing here,
No,
and
no,
people loved it.
we were.
I remember people saying, "Oh, yeah, I used to read your your text and all of that on that thingamajig,"
Mhm.
and I would be like, "Mira, esta gente están
Thingamajig.
viniendo desde Ocala a comerle los sándwiches a socio."
They did, bro.
Bro, that's incredible, dude.
Ocala, Fort White.
Who the hell lives in Fort White that wants
I
a
don't
Cuban
know,
sandwich?
dude. The 3 people that live in Fort White would come over
The
here to eat
three?
a Cuban sandwich.
That's
Right?
wild, dude.
You know, it's,
You gotta
Fort
love your
White.
people.
I
Yeah.
love Fort White peeps, right? I'm just, if there's any of you out there, but yeah, man, people from Fort White, people from High Springs, people from Ocala, people from just all over. We
Mhm.
used to get people from Interlaken, which was
That's a cruise, dude.
that's a cruise.
Like a cruise. Eso es largo.
Oh yeah,
Uy,
yeah.
that's
Coño, I was
long as shit.
confused. I'm thinking cruise ship. You
No. That's a long ride, dude. For a sandwich.
Yeah,
Le ronca, bro.
yeah. And we actually had a
You
couple.
guys had to have been sprinkling a little.
I'm not even exaggerating. We had a couple that came with their children, and we felt really bad because we decided to close early. And yeah, we were like done.
No.
But we had a couple that came from Jacksonville.
No.
I swear, I'm not lying. I swear.
Pobre gente, bro.
And it was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But yeah, we were like literally like just about to leave, and I contemplated for a moment, let's open up everything again. But I was like, okay. By that point, yeah, that was in the summer. That was in the summer, and in the summer we were so jaded that I was like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
It is what it
And
is.
if they're watching, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry guys. I doubt they are, but if they are,
No, después de la.
yeah, but like, I don't want to see these guys
Yeah,
ever again.
ever.
Pa carajo.
Unfriend.
Unfriend. But anyways, Abel, getting back on track with the
Yeah.
whole thing, man, it's like, that's just kind of the nature of business in Gainesville, I think.
I think so too, man. And you're not the only one. Every business. So, like I told you, I'm a realtor, and we manage a lot of properties here in town. And dude, there is only that time where the kids have left, and you have about a week, 2 weeks to turn the apartments, and that's usually where you make most of your money is within those 2 weeks. Because after that, it's dry season, and then it's just keep the maintenance up and all of that. But the bread and butter for that business is in those 2 weeks. It's not for the students, dude. Again, right now.
Yeah. George is saying
George.
George is saying that he's pissed off that he didn't get a chance to taste anything. Oh, it's not my fault. You were in California, bro.
George's shit was rocking.
Yeah, man.
Rocking.
You messed up, bro. And now you're what? Down south? I mean, you continue to miss this. You continue to miss the target, buddy. But bueno, too late, anyways, man.
Mandamos una foto de las croquetas.
He's seen plenty of croqueta photos. Don't even get George started with croquetas. Anyways, Abel. So yeah, man. It is what it is. Who's this? Let me see. David's
Oh,
bringing,
David.
David's bringing some
All
coffee.
right, guys. Production has brought us coffee. Thank you, David. We
David with the
appreciate it.
coffee.
Mira, gracias.
Appreciate it. Let's give David a round of applause.
Hey, here we go.
David, a round of
Thank you.
applause.
All right.
Thank you,
Say
David.
hello, David. Come on in.
Look at David.
What?
David,
What?
Cuban Dudes.
Cuban Dudes, the original David.
Croqueta roller. Um. So yeah.
So let me
What
let me
else?
so yeah so yeah there is
Cafecito.
cafecito. Déjame tomarme un poquito para poder pensar bien, por favor.
Cafecito. People, anybody who may think, oh, these guys,
With
are
these
just
guys.
with these empty,
No, it's the
empty
real
cups,
deal.
haciéndose that.
Yeah, we're not that good of actors.
Yeah, we're not that great. Abel's got an IMDb profile, but not me. I ain't
Oye,
I ain't that.
prepárense, gente.
He's so tired of me messing around with that whole thing.
Dale,
Like,
prepárese.
evil. Con el IMDb crap.
Oye, Andy, so let's do these mentions, dude. I think these are very important for people to know.
One quick thing before we jump into that, Abel.
Sure, talk
Monique
to me.
Alvarez says, you guys should not lose your dreams with selling Cuban food. Monique,
I like the question.
I'm with you. It's more of a, I guess, a statement, but I'm with you on that. I would love to jump back into it at some point, but for right now, it's just we'll readjust over time and see what happens. You never know. I'm a fan of like sticking to doing something productive because you never know the way the road of life goes. We might end up doing Cuban food again out here some point. But for right now, we had to take a break because it was brutal in certain ways, and we had a stream of a lot of bad luck. But I have faith that there's a possibility we could do it again at some point. So thank you, Monique. I appreciate you. So what were you
No,
about to jump into?
No, I was just going to talk about the good folks from Good Nature Pet Store.
Oh, the Good Nature Pet Store peeps.
Yeah.
So Cat and Joy, great people at the Good Nature Pet Store out on Main Street. I think their address is 1315 South Main. Don't ask me how I know that. It's, I think, because 1314 South Main was the Cuban corner and they were right across the street. Right. So 1315 South Main Street, right across the street. Cuban Dudes 2025.
Whoa.
Jack Pandom's my boy right there too. So right across the street from the Cuban corner, 1315 South Main Street, Good Nature Pet Store. Great. The owners are great people. Cat and Joy. They're going through a hard time right now. I think sales might be slowing down. I think they're probably been suffering that bug that hit us when we were at the Cuban corner with the slow sales. Probably the winter season, things slow down. But if you want an experience, and this is a kind of like a plug in a way that I'm happy to give because I really honestly believe they're great people. If you want an experience to go into a store to buy things for your pet, where you actually will get treated in a personal way and also receive, buy food, that actually is good for your animal, not something that's going to kill them in like 5 years. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, why did Fluffy die? He's only 6. It's like, oh, you're feeding him garbage.
Alpo.
Yeah, Alpo and what else? So go check out Good Nature Pets. 1315 South Main Street. I mean, they're great people, and honestly, I want to see them succeed out there. So,
let's hear it for the people from Good Nature.
Yeah, Good Nature Pet Store. But yeah, they are an example of somebody who is spent a lot of money, put a lot of effort into being out there. Have a beautiful store, by the way. Have a beautiful store, by the way, and they're like a hop skip away probably from like saying, okay, you know what, I can't deal with this anymore. And that's a shame because then all we get left out here in Gainesville is the big box stores.
Yeah, but that kills the charm. Remember, guys, buy locally.
Yeah, buy local. Agreed 100%. I mean, I'm seeing Gainesville trending that way. A lot of small mom and pop places, which I felt made this place
what it is,
unique,
what it was, right?
Unique. Right? all are leaving. In Miami, you get every corner the same exact thing,
and they're all packed.
Yeah, pero la misma mierda, bro. You get a CVS in front of a Walgreens.
Oh, bueno, that whole
in front of another Walgreens, in front of a Bank of America, in front of another Bank of America.
Next to a
how many Bank of Americas do I need in an intersection, bro?
Fair.
You know what I mean? But then in Gainesville, it's different. You know what I mean? It has Gainesville, Archer, all Newberry, all the outlying areas. It has a little bit of a different touch. I kind of fell in love with that a little bit when we moved out here 3 years ago.
Hmm.
And just in the 3 year period that we've been out here and in being business owners out here, I've noticed that slowly but surely fading away. And then it's like they close down some small mom and pop place, and then there's like, I don't know, a Sonics or something,
Yeah, another Chipotle.
a Chipotle,
Dios mío.
something else, or a place that, hey, all power to them, probably started in Gainesville that now has like 10 different locations. Awesome.
Right.
Great,
And
awesome.
then there's those.
But now, which is great, but now it's like almost they're becoming that next big box thing in a certain way. So, it's not giving a lot of chance to the smaller people to thrive, or at least the market is not conducive for it, right? So that's the way that I see it out here, and you know, I hope that things change for the better in a certain way.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So what else do we have on the
So
docket?
yeah, so we have Melissa Franco.
Oh, Melissa Franco.
That's very important to the people.
Yes, yes. I wanted to mention this too to you guys out here in Gainesville in particular, but this is a GoFundMe situation, so um you could go ahead and donate at any moment in time. Melissa Franco reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, asking me to share this information with you guys. She is having it's unfortunate, it's sad. She's been having renal failure for the last 11 years. Is in need of a kidney, plain and simple. Is in need of a kidney. She needs to raise the money to do it. If you guys could help her out, I will post the GoFundMe on our social media, but I will also mention it here right now. It is GoFundMe.com/kidney for Franco. That is GoFundMe.com/kidney for Franco. And I will put it on the caption as well. Um, so you guys could take a look at that and help her out. That would be that'd be great. We love when people reach out to us. Unfortunate situation, but we love when people reach out to us um, for things that they want us to share. It's like even when we were at the Cuban Dudes food truck, people would reach out to us for like things that they'd want us to share through social media.
Right.
You know, uh, it's just cool. When people I guess they think that we have the platform to share these things, and we do it gladly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So just want to share this with you guys here. So
That's awesome.
yeah, GoFundMe.com/kidney for Franco. So definitely hope that that Melissa gets the help that she needs. A round of applause for Melissa. So, anyways, Abel,
I think we're coming to the end of the show, more or less,
yeah,
right?
man, this is our first show. We're kind of feeling things out. We had a hiccup in the beginning. Once again, we apologize to anybody who was on in the beginning when that happened. It's like the Murphy's Law, right? When things could go bad, they go bad. But I think overall it's been a pretty smooth conversation between you and I here for our first day. We ran through a little bit of the back, just the background of what Cuban Dudes, was when it came to the food truck and what we're doing with this show. Spoke about Gainesville, and just the nature of business out here, which I think is not something that is foreign to anybody who lives out here, right? I think
Right.
we're stating the obvious, but
Pretty obvious at this point, right?
but I think it's a conversation that's definitely merited to just to have.
I agree.
And I think over time we'll talk more about that. Um, we'll talk more about that. We have a mention here by Amy. Hold on, let me see here right now. So Amy says the food industry is way hard, even in the best of times. In Gainesville, it's even harder. The margins aren't great, and I can't even imagine now how costs for everything are so high. Yeah, she's right.
Everything's expensive,
Um,
dude.
We also have LEK say the student turnover has a lot to do with it. Yeah, I mean it's
I believe that.
as we mentioned. Monique Alvarez responded, I think, to the comment prior. Say, I would strongly suggest if you guys can go back out there and sell Cuban food on events in a little Cuban corner around UF. Everybody wants us to go back to selling food, man.
You guys are gonna be selling comida por libra.
Comida por la libra, yeah. That's something that actually did actually run my mind, through my mind for a little bit, but it's just.
But you don't remember Miami Blue Sky?
Yeah,
Bro, Blue Sky was everywhere. That comida por libra, and every time you had a party, necesito arroz for 40 people. They had it, arroz blanco, arroz frijoles negro con gris moro, and you would go there and create a party in your house in no time.
yeah. We never made the commitment to stick to Cuban Dudes, the food truck, in such a way where it was our exclusive line of like revenue income.
Right.
It was like I had my professional, or I have my professional job, and then I was also doing Cuban Dudes.
Right. It's
So it was, because it was hard to just live off of that.
correct.
I don't know if the people behind Blue Sky have like investment money.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it was you know, 90s, late 80s.
They might have started then.
Everybody had money.
Yeah. I'm sure you have stories about all the money in
All the-
Miami at that time, Abel.
Ooh.
So
And for the people that don't know Spanish, comida por libra is food by the pound. By the way,
food by the pound.
by the pound.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, what was the popular thing we'd get at parties in Miami from Blue Sky? It was arroz imperial.
Arroz imperial was a bomb.
Arroz
Still is.
imperial with un cojonat de platanitos.
De platanitos.
And what else? Probably like la ensalada or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, era una ensalada. I remember, bueno, la suegra hace tremendo arroz imperial.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that thing rocks, bro.
Yeah. I haven't had arroz imperial in a very, very long time.
My
It's
brother.
just-
So pacho para los dedos.
yeah.
No, that's that good.
Oh wow.
No, I like it.
Does she do it with like the
mayo
mayonnaise and everything?
Yeah, it's like almost like a lasagna, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like a layer of rice, a layer of chicken, a layer of mayo, a layer of this, another layer of rice, like that.
Yeah. My mom makes something called un tambor de papa. Have you had that
Okay,
before?
No.
It's basically like after you eat it, you're like that basically. But it's basically just like a
Colesterol
layer.
a millón.
Yeah, it's like a layer of like mashed potato.
All right.
But you know, we don't make it dry or anything like that.
Right.
You know how we do it, right?
Right.
So it's like a layer of mashed potato with like the Cuban style ground beef, and then cheese, and then mashed potato, and then ground beef, and then cheese, and it's like repeats over and over. It makes like this thick, like lasagna looking potato thing.
Okay.
That's just oozing and dripping with like the moisture of like the ground beef and like the cheese and everything. My mouth is watering just talking
Sounds
about it.
sounds like
It's
happiness.
Yeah, there is an American dish that has, I forgot the name of it, but it's composed of the same thing, which is just like the ground beef, the potato, the cheese.
It's not a shepherd's pie.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Shepherd's pie, no?
I'm thinking, but I'm not one to
Yeah.
eat that.
But yeah, George says Lebanese people eat that minus the cheese. Yeah, Lebanese people eat really good, man. I'm trying to change my diet
brother.
to a Lebanese diet. I'm not
Listen,
gonna lie.
listen to me. Lebanese food is very good. That's
love
what I
Lebanese
missed
food,
about
bro.
Miami. Miami, you can get food from all over the place, man. If you want Iranian food, if you want Arab food, if you want anything, Argentinian steakhouses, Brazilian steakhouses, you name it, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I miss about Miami.
yeah. I feel like in Miami you were much more like cultured than me. Like I feel like you'd be that guy that'd be like at North Miami Beach one weekend, and then you'd be like in like Palmetto Bay, and then you'd be here, and then you'd be there, and you'd be going out with your wife and doing these different things. I was like, like a simple guy. I was going like Macaroni Grill, bro.
That's how Dude, macaroni grill wasn't bad. When I had kids, man, they used to go, where's the crayons, dude?
Yeah, I was going to On the Border. You know what I mean? Like I was like, let's go have
remember on the
Mexican.
border. Yeah.
It's like on the border.
We used to go to one that was called the Torito. It used to be close to International Mall.
Torito, coño, I think I remember that.
Of course, bro, that shit's old school.
Yeah.
Ahí sí se jodía, man. Unos margarita, happy hour. I used to take my wife there all the time when we were dating.
The only thing I would go mess up around the International Mall was La Carreta when they opened it up.
Coño, la carreta, pero la carneta
I like that one. I know people would talk about the one in La Ocho and this
because it's
but
the
I like that
original.
one.
And then, by the way, I think they closed it.
The one in International?
No, the one on 8th Street, the original one, the one that came out in Scarface.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah, bro. It's
I
a
know
wrap.
that.
Because son la misma gente de Versailles. The people that own Versailles own la carreta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't shock me, man. The way the world is going,
Versailles rocks,
everything's
bro.
weird, bro.
Versailles rocks. I got there like at 1:45 with one day that I was partying in Miami, bro. Hey, una mesa y una comida completa, bro.
To this day, one of the best arroz con leches I've ever had in my life, I had in Versailles. I loved it.
They cook very well.
Yeah, and it even had pasas in it. I hate arroz con leche with pasas in it.
I don't know.
It's like,
yeah,
arroz con leche with raisins in it is like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
but
definitely
it was
a filler.
so damn good, man.
Yeah, it's worth it. So if you guys ever have the chance to go down to Miami and want to have real Cuban food,
yeah,
go there.
And we used to get that question, by the way. Now that we're wrapping up and we're talking about this subject here yet again. When we had the food truck, I used to get that question. Oh, what was your favorite place to eat at? All the time. The sophisticated white folk will come and ask, "Excuse me, Andy, what was your favorite place to eat at Cuban food?"
In Miami?
In Miami, and I used to be like,
Rio Cristal.
I used to be like, my house. Like there
Yeah.
was no place in Miami, and I'm not trying to be an ass, bro. There's no place in Miami that I would eat Cuban food that I'd be like, this is the greatest thing I've
Right.
ever had
Right.
personally. But mind you, you probably ate at a lot more different places than I did. I used to eat like Sergio's, Casa
Sergio's
Habana,
rocked.
Casa Lauro, I think it was called, or something like
Uh-huh.
that. Larios.
Larios. I remember
Um,
Larios.
you know,
That was the one that Gloria Stefan owned. Larios at the beach. They had
yeah,
Larios. They had
no, but I'm
Larios.
talking about the one in Flagler.
Yeah, there's one in Flagler. That's also hers.
Yeah,
Just like they own the Cardoso at the beach,
yeah.
or
So
they did at that one time, anyhow.
yeah, yeah. So I just I never experienced something where and I think that to wrap up and to get and to wrap up on the subject of Cuban Dudes food truck.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that made it such a passion project for us, is that we did things where we do food estilo casero. Like, you know what I mean? Like we make the food like literally that way, and we'd sell it to people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like kind of blow their minds, especially when we hit our stride, because in the beginning, we would be great, and then some days we'd be like, coño, esta croqueta está muy salada, bro. What are you doing?
Se le fue la mano.
Se te fue la mano, whatever, o esta croqueta ahora está desabrida. We kind of went through that period.
Yeah.
But when we finally hit our stride, I would say specifically when we were at the Cuban corner, it was something that was just like amazing to me. When I would eat our own food, I'd be like, bro, this is so good.
Yeah, like
so
it's
good.
just like Mama used to make.
It tastes like we're eating it like from the house, because literally it was like made at home. And then, I mean, we'd make it on the truck,
Right.
but a lot of the ingredients and everything came from home, the stuff that we make from home, which to me, when people would talk about some of the local places that sell Hispanic, or Cuban food,
Mm-hmm.
they'd be like, "Oh, what's the difference? Like, what do you think?" I'm like, I have no idea why they don't just take this simple concept and just like apply it and just own it and say we make good food. Punto y aparte. We make it the way we make it at home.
Right.
They get to that point where they like microwave or like freeze everything, and then they just distribute it and warm it up, and it's like, why do that, bro? People taste the difference.
Yes, you can. Especially if you're a foodie like myself, I can tell when they do that. So they do something in every restaurant, which they'll mix in the fresh white rice with the day old rice, and I can taste that, man. And I tell them, "Oye, me está metiendo tremendo forro, bro. Can you get back and give me a fresh thing of rice? I'll wait."
Yeah.
And then they start doing all those tricks and the nuking, and forget it, man.
I don't know.
I won't go there anymore.
It's weird. Amy says La Rosa slaps.
Oh, dude, La Rosa. That's old school Cuban, kind of like Versailles, where you have the waiters waiting, like they actually are lined up,
No way.
and they're looking at your table. Once the water goes down more than half, they fill it up. They fill your stuff. They give you fresh bread. I mean, bro, it is.
Are they like staring at you the whole time you're eating? That's creepy.
Well, not almost, but very centurion like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. But it's worth it, bro.
Like they're, that Cuban mentality, like, hijo de puta, termina, like, ahora tengo que llevar el agua.
Eso se parece a Chuyito allá que de Cuba. Ese me debe 15 pesos. Ese.
Oh, man.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a good time.
Well, I think, you know what? Since Friday's right around the corner.
Oh, yes.
I think
let's do that right before wrapping up.
So I think, guys, just so you guys know, this Friday, we're going to be, every time we have a show, we're going to let you guys know things and events that are happening around town. That way you guys can go ahead and spend time with your family, or just do things by yourself or your loved one. But this Friday in particular, we have the Art Walk in Gainesville. It's Friday, January 26th from 7 in the morning to 10 at night. It's held every last Friday of the month in downtown. We also, this weekend, we have the Hogtown Medieval Fair. That would be on the January 27th and the 28th from 10 to 6, and it's free. The address is Depot Park, 874 Southeast 4th Street, Gainesville, Florida.
Is that where the people dress up like people from the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that?
Dude, that's it.
Yeah.
Hello, precious.
Hey, my precious. Okay.
Y se empieza a dar palo, they start fighting.
Oh, what else?
That's it, my brother. That's only two things to do.
Yeah, it's Gainesville.
It's
after
Gainesville.
all.
Welcome.
After all, welcome. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining us today. Once again, our first show in the books. We promise to be better next time and into the future, and we will have much more content for you guys and info. So thanks so much for tuning into the Cuban Dudes Show. We love you guys. Thank you, Gaingsbill. We're out. This has been El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Cuban Dudes, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Cuban Dudes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.